Very pleasant to hear baseball or something like that. But if you play 5 days match, you need to have a proper technique. Baseball means intent. What we call like you want to dominate the bowler, but you need to have a sound technique. Even the technique are so much of dependence or dependent on the climate, the conditions. So yeah, I mean, getting a good strike rate, playing aggressive cricket is always good. If you see today's world, it's like that. In test matches, the score are 300 plus sometimes. So I think yes, the intent needs to be good. But again, as I said, like when he played against Australia, there were a few seniors around him, so he was free to play all his shots. But if you see this series, as I said earlier, like I think the batting lineup is will be very much dependent on Yashasvi. So that's something really needs to see that whether what will be the condition and how he will react. So yeah, I mean scoring runs in hard to predict because as an Indian you would like to win. But if you see the records, I think we won last season in 2007 when I remember Rahul Dravid was I think captain and my friend Wasim scored some good runs. So I think it's long gap, maybe like maybe 18 years gap if you count. So it's always hard to play in England, and they are playing in their own own conditions. So they will always have. If you ask me frankly, they will always have the upper hand. As a cricket expert, as a coach, I can say that they are having the upper hand. 2.5 years back, when he was struggling and with the pace, with the bounce, and he was not mentally well. So that was the transformation of his life, I can say. And from there, he started doing well. And when he was not doing well in IPL, we used to put a plastic sheet on the wicket, like main wicket. Sidearm bowler, they used to bowl 160, 70 kilometer per hour, more than the Jofra Archer pace. And I used to tell him hit over point sixes, mid on, you clear mid on and mid off, pull shots. And we used to do like 3-4 hours a day. And then after he went to the IPL 2 and scored 50 runs. And from there he started building the confidence. And whenever he used to come, he used to give him a lot of challenges, different practice. I think yes, and again I will not forget to mention Rajasthan Royals. They always being supportive, helping him well and shaping him well, and that's how he's playing well.
Hello and welcome to timesofindia.com, and we have Yashasvi Jaiswal's childhood coach Jwala Singh with us. Yashasvi is going to England. This will be his first tour. Obviously, he has played against many countries, but this will be first overseas route for England. What do you have to say about this?
When you talk about England, I remember in 2015, I sent him to England with the Delhi Wing Circus team, and I was also there, and he scored well there. Then I think later on he went England in 2019 for India under 19, and he did decently there. And I think this is the tour where he's playing for senior Indian team, what everybody dreamed for playing in England. So I think it will be definitely challenging because if you see the England performance in Test cricket, especially at the home conditions. So the challenge in England is normally weather. Sometimes there's a rain. Then again the weather got colds. So I think if the Indian team and Yashasvi can cope up for the weather, they can really do well. But I know, I mean, I know this 5 Test matches are not going to be easy.
As you said, the 5 Test matches are not going to be easy. So this will be a young Indian side. Maybe after a long time, like absence of Virat Kohli will be there, Rohit Sharma will be there, and absence of Ashwin will be there because all the three stalwarts have recently retired from Test cricket. So the onus will be on the youngsters. So how do you see Yashasvi Jaiswal and who should be his opening partner?
This is really a very Indian young side because if you see all the teams, those travel to England, there were so many senior players, and that is my concern as well because just after Virat and Rohit, you can say it was a sudden retirement. If you say, especially for Virat Kohli, this will be really a challenging series because if you see the captaincy, like Shubman Gill, he was the part of the mini series, but if you see his last few series, even he was not playing, was in the playing 11 of the Test matches. So even the captaincy will be challenging for Shubman Gill. And now these youngsters have become the seniors. If you see that, like Shubman, Yashasvi in batting unit, even Rishabh Pant, they are not like 7-8 years of age, old Indian players. They are just 4-5 years. So I think it will be very challenging for all of them, especially batters. And again, I said it will be a task to do, and taking the places of greats like Rohit, Virat would not be easy. So even we are all excited to see that how this series goes on.
Talking about Yashasvi, how will you define? I mean, he has played really well in Australia and other countries also. He was a part of the Indian Test squad when England came to India. So England would be challenging for Yashasvi. Do you think so, or like will he like he has that hunger to unleash this challenge?
Looking at his character since childhood, I know that he's the guy. When he decides something, he really delivers. I have many incidents with me also. Like, so I feel like he will. If you see, he will be one of the senior batter. If you say he has positions himself well in all, especially in Test matches. So I think if he decides and if he plays well and get used to the condition in first warm-up games, I'm very sure that he will score runs, and his role is very vital in this Indian unit. I hope, like what I'm seeing right now, the Indian batting lineup will be definitely have a lot of dependency on him. Like old days, the senior players like Sachin and Dravid and Virat. I think he needs to play that role. If India does well, I think he needs to play the same role as they did in past.
Has he done anything in terms of technique?
If we talk about the Test matches, you need to have a character, because in Test matches there will be a lot of up and downs. And as I said earlier, in England the most challenge is the weather. If you play 5 days matches, maybe some days 5 days are different. Sometimes you go early in the morning because and you see a lot of cloud, and all of a sudden you feel there is a little bit of warm weather, then rain. So this is something. It is always up and downs. And if you see the England bowlers, they know the conditions well. They know which area to bowl, and it always supporting the swing condition. So my worry is about like the last Test match, what the Indian players, especially Yashasvi, played last Test match in month of January, and now after that January, it's a long gap of 6 good months. In between, they played a lot of T20 cricket, IPL, white ball cricket. So I think the adaptability skill, what I always talk about, needs to be implemented well. And if they can do well, they can do good. But still, it's a very young side, and Yashasvi needs to play the role well. Technically, he's very sound. He has a lot of patience. He knows how to score runs, how to handle the pressure when bowler is on the top. He knows how to react when bowler is a little bit. So he has a character, he has a technique. It's all about getting the situation well, because when he was going to Australia, a lot of people talk like whether he will score run or not. So I even have one interview that he's going to become the highest run getter of the series, and that happened. So he has the character, and I have seen this character from long time. So I'm very hopeful that he do well. But I really feel like he needs to utilize the first a few practice game as an experience, getting used to, and if he can get settled, I think he can do well.
England are adapting that baseball technique, and Yashasvi Jaiswal is another baseball for India. So what will you say about that? Like he comes to the open, he plays his own game, like on the higher strike rate, and like will that help in England? Like against England, especially when they have that baseball way to go forward.
See, it's very pleasant to hear baseball or something like that. But if you play 5 days match, you need to have a proper technique. Baseball means intent. What we call like you want to dominate the bowler, but you need to have a sound technique. And even the technique are so much of dependent on the climate, the conditions. So yeah, getting a good strike rate, playing aggressive cricket is always good. If you see today's world, it's like that. In Test matches, the score are 300 plus sometimes. So I think yes, the intent needs to be good. But again, as I said, like when he played against Australia, there were a few seniors around him, so he was free to play all his shots. But if you see this series, as I said earlier, like I think the batting lineup is will be very much dependent on Yashasvi. So that's something really needs to see that whether what will be the condition and how he will react. So yeah, I mean scoring runs in quick fire is always good, but in test matches and especially in England, it's totally test of your skills, test of your technique, test of your temperament. So I think he needs to meet, match the aggression and also the match condition as well, because the most important thing is India should do well and win the test matches and test series.
In the last conversation I had with you, like you discussed that you traveled to Australia, you watched Yashasvi, you had a conversations with him. So the learnings from Australia, I mean, will that help in England? How was the conversation like, and what would be advice for Yashasvi in terms of technique, footwork, like dealing with England pacers?
I have worked on him like I 8 9 years, so I know everything, and he has developed well with even with me, and also a lot of coaches like Dravid and other coaches helps him. Virat, so it all helped him, because if you're making a player, there should be many hands to come together, and then we make a world class player. So I think my mantra is very simple, that you need to see the conditions, pitch, and then in test match cricket you need to see that what kind of shots you can play on the surface and what kind of shot you cannot play on the surface. If you can, if you have that, that choice, and you know that choice is going well, that really works, because in test cricket sometimes you need to avoid so many things, and sometimes you need to adopt so many things, because if you see so many cricketers struggle on the same shot because they doesn't know how to avoid that. So my suggestion is always for him, like look at the condition, look at the pitch, and see that day that what's happening. If something is happening or going good, you need to continue. If something is not happening or not going good, you need to avoid, and that's how you can win the session. If you can win the session, you can play as per the session, as per the need, because if you see the test cricket, there are around 15 sessions. So maybe like 5 6 sessions belongs to your team, or 5 6 sessions like belongs to other team. So it's about which team is playing sessions well, which batsman is playing the sessions well. If they can do that, he can do that, I'm sure he will do well.
India don't have Virat and Rohit, so England also don't have those Stuart Broad and James Anderson. So this is a young side. So your prediction for the series?
Hard to predict, because as an Indian you would like to win. But if you see the records, I think we won last series in 2007, when I remember Rahul Dravid was, I think, captain, and my friend Wasim scored some good runs. So I think it's long gap, maybe 18 years gap if you count. So it's always hard to play in England, and they are playing in their own own conditions. So they will always have, if you ask me frankly, they will always have the upper hand. As a cricket expert, as a coach, I can say that they are having the upper hand. And if you see the Indian side, if you see, it's little inexperienced batting lineup, but I think our bowlers are good. Bumrah is there, and some other bowlers are there. So it's very. I'm also excited and to see that what's happening. But if you ask my opinion, I think England has the upper hand in Test match.
Yashasvi is becoming all format player. I mean, be it like T20s, ODIs, or Test, he has cemented his place as a permanent opener for India. So, what is your take? What has he done in these years so far with his batting?
I really feel that he is very confident. He has a lot of self-belief, and these days he know how to handle the different format, the different conditions, and so I think that's really helped him a lot. And I think credit goes to the IPL. I think Rajasthan Royals, the BCCI. I think, and he's a boy who learns quickly and understand the things quickly, understand the situations quickly. So I think, and he know how to handle the pressure, how to adopt the situation. So I think everything, all positives, and I feel he has ability to play longer for Indian team. I always mention most of my interviews that he's the player who can play 10-15 years for India for all formats.
Recently, in the past few months, you mentioned about that plastic ball, that a lot of balls, like you made him train during the COVID times, and after that also. Did something different you did with Yashasvi to prepare for Australia series and then England series?
Not recently because he's very busy playing with different international calendars. But yes, uh, like 2.5 years back when he was struggling and with the pace, with the bounce, and he was not mentally well. So that was the transformation of his life, I can say. And from there, he started doing well, and I'm happy that he's doing well. And I say that he was since childhood he was knowing his game. He was able to score runs. It was just a transformation from lesser challenges to the higher challenges, like less able bowlers to the high level bowlers. So I think that transformation was very very crucial, and he did. And the way he's playing is really making me proud and happy.
Can you define those practice sessions with us, sir? I mean, what exactly you did?
A lot of things, like when he was not doing well in IPL, we used to put a plastic sheet on the wicket, like main wicket. Sidearm bowler, they used to bowl 160-70 km/h, more than the Jofra Archer pace. And I used to tell him hit over point sixes, mid on, you clear mid on and mid off, pull shots. And we used to do like 3-4 hours a day. And then after he went to the IPL 2 and scored 50 runs. And from there, he started building the confidence. And whenever he used to come, he used to give me a lot of challenges, different practice. I think yes, and again, I will not forget to mention Rajasthan Royals. They always been supportive, helping him well and shaping him well, and that's how he's playing well.
Thank you so much for taking out time for us. It was lovely talking to you.
Thank you so much.